After 8 o'clock, welcome back. News and views on Salam Media. Now, as I just mentioned before that news break, that commercial break, that wherever the ANC makes, is present for whatever reason, there is always high drama and controversy. But I guess the same can be said for even the opposition political parties. But this time around, we understand that more squabbles are coming out of the ANC Northwest Elective Conference. The party's former provincial chairperson, Supra Mahumapelo, wants the conference invalidated. He and his supporters have launched a court application to have the proceedings nullified. So what on earth is going on? Let us speak with Professor Sipho Seepe to unpack this latest high drama development within the ANC. A very good morning to you. Welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Nice to have you on the show, Prof, once again. And once again, high drama as far as the ANC and the conference is concerned. We understand that Supra Mahumapelo and his supporters have launched a court application to have the proceedings nullified. He has withdrawn as the chairperson from the race, claiming compromised credentials amongst other issues. So what exactly is going down here?
The first thing is that Mahumapelo has already expressed his opinion on that. He has indicated that he's not party to those that approach the court, and have agreed that the conference should succeed and they should proceed. And so he is not part of this group. But there's as you rightfully indicate, that whenever the ANC meets, and because of the obsession with position, and one must understand that obsession with position has more to do with the material benefits that come from being in that position. It's about the
Okay, we seem to have lost our guest, political analyst Professor Sipho Seepe. We're going to try and get him again. I think he was driving whilst speaking with us, so we're going to ask him, if possible, to pull over and discuss this very important issue. So let's go for a quick break and we'll try and reconnect with him.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. Humanity sets the agenda.
The Syrian crisis has raged for over 4,000 days. 4,000 days of suffering, displacement, hunger, and intolerable insecurity. With your help, Islamic Relief can continue to stand alongside them. Never has your support been so important. Together, we can stand with the Syrian people. We can help them build a better future. Will you continue to stand with the people of Syria? Please, donate now.
There's no smell that takes me back to the comfort of my childhood than the smell of black seed oil being applied by my nanny. Now I'm using Tib black seed in my own home to soothe sniffles and coughs, to help with digestion and immunity, and of course, as part of my beauty routine. After all these years, I've come to appreciate the wisdom in finding comfort and shifa in trusted treatments like Tib black seed. You can find Tib black seed at all leading pharmacies, or find out more at blackseed.co.za.
Welcome back. It is exactly...
It's 7 years old, but the violence keeps escalating, with severe impacts on the food security of millions of families. People in Yemen are desperate and need our support survive. Let's make a difference in Yemen today. Donate now at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Ah, the kitchen, the heart of the home, where memories are made and celebrated. Our go-to place for those freshly stacked pancakes early in the morning or for that late-night snack munchies. We are in there together, cooking, eating, and celebrating life together. Let's keep the kitchen a place that is shared by everyone, where we build stronger bonds and grow together. Sunfoil, now we cooking. Visit nowwecooking.co.za for recipes that everyone can help make.
When the perfect blend of stylish decor, exquisite halal cuisine, and warm hospitality come together, it could only mean Al Bayt Lodge, your true home away from home. Al Bayt is the ideal heaven for families, business people, and tourists with its 4-star family rooms and other luxurious facilities, conveniently situated close to Port Elizabeth Airport, the beach, and other amenities. Your stay will be truly unforgettable, as you'll be taking home lasting memories of the warm hospitality, the serenity and tranquility that Al Bayt has to offer. For reservations, call 041 583 6415 or visit www.albaytlodge.co.za.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
17 after 8 o'clock. Welcome back. And we do have our political analyst back online, and that's you, Professor Sipho Seepe. Thank you indeed for reconnecting. Would you like to pick up from where we left off, and that is the issue around more squabbles coming out of the ANC Northwest Elective Conference, and of course, Supra Mapelo wants the conference invalidated.
Yeah, I was saying the Supra has come out on that matter, that he does not want those who want to concord to have the conference invalidated. He has distanced himself. But those who also to court have raised the issue of the preparation and the corruption that often is associated with the ANC when it comes to credentials. One thing that was found is that there were also duplications of checks of delegates, which suggest that there was something amiss. But those issues have since been resolved by yesterday afternoon. It is why the process of electing the party proceeded. But what was important also is that the Supra, who many had expected that he was going to run, had decided to withdraw his name. And he had also explained why he's withdrawing his name, that he is availing himself for a possibility of being in the National Executive Committee of the ANC, that instead of remaining in the province, he has outgrown the province and he's going to be considered for being in the National Executive. So that was one reason why he had pulled out. But he had also indicated his unhappiness with the fact that the Premier, who had been parachuted into that position, who is a stalwart of the ANC, was also contesting. He felt that the Premier, who is a stalwart of the ANC, should actually remain a stalwart and be the one who's going to guide the younger people. And he made it very clear that he does not support him for the position of the chair. And as things turn out, the Premier lost. And some of the media have already reported to say the Supra endorsed top 5 is the one that had won. Supra actually supported the person who was ultimately elected. Nono Malo is a member of parliament in the ANC.
Okay, another political analyst, probably a colleague of yours or someone you do know, Ibrahim Harvey, has indicated that Supra has a very strong case. What can we expect? How do we expect this to play out? With taking the proceedings, to have it invalidated, to have the conference invalidated. He does have a strong
Well,
case, so says other political analysts. Do you think it would still
no,
go to court, be nullified, and what then?
no, I don't think it's going to be nullified. Once you have the process of election of the chair and the top five, and the conference proceeds, that the intention to proceed by a few will be overturned, because what you have is that there are many other people who were there who can vouch that there's been almost stability has been restored, and the chair has already spoken. So it will be very difficult, because the court had already ruled that the people who were in the interim should not vote. Those were the ones that were the concern was raised. And the conference has agreed that those people would be non-voting members. So what Fake was saying, he was saying something before that was overtaken by events. There have been developments since then. Like I say, Supra is also one of those who had said he distanced himself from those who had gone to court to nullify the conference. So there have been developments on this matter.
Okay, was this a good move by Supra? And what does this do as far as strengthening his political future within the ANC?
Well, what people must understand that the Supra was removed through a process that was orchestrated at the center. There were people who were paid to remove him, and he was removed. And the argument that was presented was that under him, Northwest had become unworkable and ungovernable. But since then, things have now become better. It was part of what you call the purging of the people post the 2017 elections. So what Supra decided to do is to accept that to remain in the national and engage himself at that level. But the support that he has enjoyed in the Northwest had not dissipated. This is why the media report that says the group that got elected because it was endorsed by Supra. So what it means that the national can play its game and try to remove people at the local level and provincial level. But the people on the ground know who their leaders are. And when it comes to elections, they will elect even those people that were rejected by national leadership, because national leadership does not dictate, it does not change the perception that people have on the ground. People understand that national leadership has its own interest. And this is why, since 2017, despite the activities of a national trying to influence the ANC is in a worse state than it has ever been before. The ANC has become more divided. And you also have a president who talks about dealing with corruption, who himself is unable to answer questions that are straightforward on matters that implicate him to have been involved in some unlawful activity. So people on the ground are actually been questioning national leadership of the ANC, in the same way that they have decided that the person who has been parachuted to become the chair or to become the premier does not enjoy support at the conference, and the numbers tell it. It's a very clear gap of over 100 delegates. So what it says is that until national respect democratic process, the ANC will never be at peace.
Finally, what do we know about the top 5 in the running for the Northwest?
What do we know about what?
The top 5 in the running for the
top 5 the top 5 in the ANC Northwest are people who have been there for a long time. Somebody like Nana Maloi, who is elected chairperson, he has been a top player in that area. He has held senior positions, and he comes from also the Youth League. And as Supra says, he was also the president of the Youth League in Northwest. So you talk about somebody who is very grounded. The same applies to the provincial secretary. He is elected precisely because he also has roots in that place and is the mayor of one of the major districts in Northwest. So you have people who in themselves are known, and the other positions were not contested, which means that the people felt that the names that were put there were sufficient enough. One of them is also the deputy speaker, who's the youngest deputy speaker in the country, who also was never challenged, Viola Mutsumi. So the other three positions were uncontested. So and as we know that the main positions in the ANC is the chairperson as well as the provincial secretary. And I think the people who are organizing the conference have somehow accepted the outcome of the top five. That's why the chair could address the conference after being elected. So what will be interesting would be what will be the additional members of the ANC will get into that position to support the top five.
And that's where we leave it. Thank you indeed for your insights, Professor Sipho Seepe, political analyst, talking to us about obviously the ANC Northwest Conference, where of course Supra Mahumapelo was wanting to get the conference invalidated, but that was obviously not the case. That did not happen. It was totally invalid. His actions were in fact invalidated, if I can put it that way. 27 after 8 o'clock, news and views right here on Salam Media. Still to come, many more very interesting interviews. Next up, we are trying to get hold of Mohammed Shaban, Palestinian journalist based in Gaza.